Hello sports fans and welcome to this edition of the Cavalier Sports Report. I'm your host Anthony Juarez and today I'm sitting down with former JCCC women's basketball player Liz Smith. Thank you for joining me today, Liz.
Thanks for having me.
You just finished your sophomore season. You guys went 32-5. You won the Region 6 championship, District B championship, and went to nationals. What was the season like looking back at it after your sophomore season?
This year was a lot of growing as a team, just learning, teaching the freshmen how to run our stuff, changing our defense and going from high school defense to college defense, and it was a lot of learning and growing up for us this year. And I think overall, we really grew as a team and got really close together.
You had the privilege of both your freshman year and sophomore year going to the national tournament. This year you took 5th. You finished 5th. What was it like your freshman year going, and then this year going and finishing 5th?
Well, my freshman year, I think we definitely had an idea that we wanted to go win the whole thing, and we definitely had a chance to, and we thought we could. And but this year, I think getting to that game, we really had a good chance of making it all the way. And overall, I know our goal was to win the whole thing, but 5th place, getting better than last year, was always, it's a positive ending to the season, and I think it was a great way to go out as a sophomore.
Your head coach, Ben Conrad, is only the second coach in the East Jayhawk Conference to put back-to-back 30-win seasons together. You being a sophomore, you were part of both of those seasons. Mm-hmm. What's that mean to you to have not only for your head coach, but for you to have back-to-back 30-win seasons?
It's pretty neat to have something to say, being such a small sophomore group that has 62 wins in a career at a junior college. But really coming here was just all about getting better and developing as a college player and getting bonds with your teammates and everything. So I think it was just something nice to add to your list.
Earlier you spoke about defense and teaching the freshmen the differences between high school and college defense. What are those differences?
Well, it's definitely, one of the more common things is just staying in a stance and boxing out your man every single time. And that was one of the things that, as a freshman you can struggle with, and I know that this year we had some freshmen that had trouble with it, but I know they really, once Coach Conrad pinpoints those people, and by the end of the season, everyone pretty much has it all down, and so that's just the whole process of being a freshman and learning everything.
This season you averaged 12.8 points a game and 9.2 rebounds a game. Very solid numbers from you. What preparation before each game went into you having such a successful season?
Well, it's not really just before the game. It's just practices overall. You have to just go through everything that he brings at you and go at it 100% and work on the little things. I try to focus on if there's something that I need to work on. If I was rebounding bad for a couple games, then I try to focus on that in practice, and then hopefully the next game it would be better. So just making sure practices, everyone was focused and working on getting better that one day.
That season, this last season, actually resulted in you being selected to the 2011 WBCA State Farm Coaches All-American Team. You won the honorable mention. What does that award mean for you?
I think it's definitely something nice to have as my junior college experience. Going into a sophomore year was always in the back of my mind, but it was never the overall goal. This year was just all about growing as a team, getting to nationals, trying to win the whole thing and just going for that. But having that at the end is always nice to say, and no one can take it away from you. So that's good.
I've heard that you personally have worked with some of your assistant coaches a lot, and they have taught you a lot as you grew from being a freshman into a sophomore and really stepped up your game. How much did your assistant coaches help you in the process of becoming a college basketball player?
Well, having the ability to work out with Coach Skockel, the post coach, preseason, during season, even winter break when everyone goes home for a week, it's really been a great opportunity. He just spends a lot of time putting in hours day into day. I only live 5 minutes away, so it's really easy to drive up here, and he meets me here. And it's just been a wonderful opportunity to work on my own individual moves and develop as a player, because when I came in, it was I didn't have a lot of base post skill. I was just kind of a tall girl that was really strong. So, it's been a really great opportunity to develop all my skills over the last 2 years, and I appreciate him for all of that. So it's been a good 2 years.
Well, like you said, you only live 5 minutes away. What did that mean for you, knowing that your friends and your family could just literally almost walk to see you play at your home games?
Well, I think it was pretty neat having like just some of my old high school players and even my like little sister and my parents always come to the home games and everything. It's just really nice to have the ability to go home when I can. I know a lot of the girls that are from out of town that live hours away can't just go home and have a home-cooked meal like if I don't have any food. So I'm just really lucky to have that, and they're always very supportive, my parents are, and it's good to have them around. So. Being
homegrown, you went to a local high school. What is it like knowing that your friends from high school and your coaches, they can keep a close eye on you here at JCCC?
I mean, it's always, I talk to my high school coach every now and then, and he's always like keeping track, and I know a lot of like the local, like my friends and everything, they try to keep track, and it's just neat to know that they like still are paying attention and interested in the sport I play, so it's been pretty neat.
After the season, you were obviously a sophomore leader. Who are some of the freshmen from this team that'll step up and take your place as one of the sophomore leaders?
Well, the freshmen returning, I think a lot of them have a chance to really take control of the team, and they really need to work together as a sophomore class to lead the whole freshman group coming in. I think Tanchelle and Amy Briggs will have a good opportunity to do that because being point guards, they have that leadership role over the team already. And so I think they'll have the ability to take charge easier next year, but I can see a lot of the girls really stepping up and helping their freshman players develop as a team.
After 2 very solid years here at JCCC, excuse me, what are some memories that you've picked up over the last 2 years?
Well, I mean, there's always lots of crazy memories with both the years, like the girls before and the girls this year. I mean, every group is different, but we'll always keep our same like goofiness, and we're always a little crazy, but there's just going to be so many memories. I know I'll definitely remember nationals from both years just because it's just something that we did as a team getting there, and even though both of them were kind of disappointing having to drop out early, but I know like that whole experience made us all better as people and as a team, and we all grew from it. So it's good.
Being with that team for your freshman year, and then obviously a new team with the freshmen coming for your sophomore year, how close were you with some of your teammates?
Well, it was definitely easier to build relationships our freshman year since we lived, like everyone on the team lived right in the same area, and we could literally walk 5 feet to the next house and like make dinner with each other. And I know it's harder to hang out with everybody and like really get to know one another, but I know everyone on the team has their own person that they can like talk to if they have any problems, and I know that they all each have like lifetime friends from that. So, I mean, being on the team is just really a good chance to get to know different personalities and see which people you click with and who you really can like be with for a long time.
So after 2 very successful seasons for you here at JCCC, what's your next step for your basketball career?
Well, right now I'm just preparing to go to Missouri next year, and I'm just working out with Coach Skockle a lot on my different kinds of moves that I can use, mostly because this year I used really strength moves compared to our league. I mean, I'm one of the more stronger girls, but I know next year it's not going to be the same thing because it's Big 12 and everyone there is really strong. So I've been just working on different moves that I can use like my quickness with, and all my strength training just like to get stronger so I can compete against those big girls next year. But really, I am going to go to Mizzou on June 1st and start all of their program and everything. So that's going to be like a big step, and I'm excited for that.
Being from Overland Park, obviously it's very Big 12 oriented in this area. You have KU, K-State, and then Missouri that all have very local fans here. What's that like for you? Were you, any 3 of those schools, were you fans of them? I mean, what's it like for you knowing that you're going to play for the Big 12 Conference?
It's pretty exciting. I mean, I was, like my older sister went to KU, and so I don't really have any like preference. I mean, if K-State were to go to the national tournament, they made it to the final 2, like we would root for them because it's just like Big 12 conference. But I mean, really, I don't really have any. I mean, now that I'm going to Mizzou, obviously I'm going to root for them. But just like growing up, it was never like one individual team. But it's funny because like sometimes I'll tell people I'm going to Mizzou, and you'll have those KU fans that'll be like, "Oh, you're going there," and I'm just like, "Come on, it's Big 12. It'll be great." But I mean, what can you do?
Well, once again, thank you to Liz Smith for joining us today. Make sure you catch future shows for more Cavalier sports action, and the best of luck to her as she travels to Missouri. I'm your host, Anthony Juarez, for the Cavalier Sports Report.